Hello, for this tutorial we're going to be adding layer effects to some shapes on layers. What I'm first going to do is I'm going to create a new layer by clicking on this button right down here at the bottom of the layer palette. It looks like a page being turned over that will create a new layer. You can also choose to click right up here on the top right hand side and click on new layer, or right up here at the top you can click on layer, new, and then layer from the drop down menus. I'm going to create a shape. I'm going to fill it with foreground color. And I'm going to be clicking on effects right down here at the bottom of the layer palette. I'm going to be adding a stroke to this layer. From right here I can control the size of the stroke. I can control the position of the stroke, whether it's on the inside or the center. If I want rounded edges, I'm going to be clicking on the outside. If I want it to be constrained by the square itself or the rectangle itself, then I'm going to click on inside. Usually I like to keep the blend mode on normal. You can play around with different blend modes if you like, but I usually like to keep it on normal. You can choose a different stroke color. Make sure that you have preview clicked so that you can see the changes that you're making to this live. Once you're happy with the stroke that you've made, you can click OK. If you look over at your layers, you can turn on and off the layer that you added the effect to by clicking on the eyeball. You can turn on or off the effect that you've added to this layer. Now, one of the reasons I like to keep my layer effects on normal blend mode is because I like to separate them from the actual layer after I'm happy with them. So I'll go to layer, layer style, and hit create layer. This right here can change some of the effects that you might have had on the layer if you in fact change the blend mode or the opacity or anything like that, which is again why I like to keep mine on normal. So from here on out I can just simply change the blend modes at the top left hand corner of the layer palette. I can also choose to play around with or mess with the opacity in the layer palette instead of on the individual layer effect. The reason I like to separate the effects from the actual layer is so that I have complete control over whatever effect I'm adding. I can erase part of it. I can play with it. I don't feel like I'm constrained. by the limited options that I have on the layer effects. So I'm going to get rid of this particular layer effect, and I'm going to try it again with a different layer effect. I'm going to try to, let's say, outer glow. If you see, this one right here has screen. I'm going to change it to normal. I'm going to give myself colored glow so that I can see it. You can adjust the size or the spread of the glow. If you want it not quite as smooth as I currently have this glow, you can adjust the noise. I sometimes do this if I want it to have like a little bit of a distressed look. Click OK. Once again, I'm going to go to Layer, Layer Style, and I'm going to hit Create Layer. From there, I'll select a brush, Photoshop, Photoshop's playing a little bit of catch up with me. That's alright. And now I can adjust each of these independently of the other. If I don't separate these, then any adjustments that I make to the shapes that I've added the effect to will be made to the layer effects as well. And sometimes I just don't want that to happen.